So if you ever get, upset about the markets or something, I believe that if I were not here with y'all, I mean, I'd be listening to music while I'm trading, doing my stuff. Just gets me in the mood to do what I got to do. And I hope yesterday, looks like we've got 9 people today, so we're down a little bit. I must have scared everybody yesterday by our psychological talk. Must have scared everybody off. The 100 years down the road, the talk about, we'll all be dead, probably depress some of y'all, but it's true, right? And well, that's why we don't need to get so involved and so scared and so, Oh, I was going to show you something else too. So this has really been helping me sleep lately. Let's go to my Amazon account and I'll order some more because I was like, I cannot run out of these things. And it's always embarrassing for y'all to say the stuff that we buy. And let me show you my orders. I ordered this last night and I recommend it. Okay, Beth, I said, our kids take all of our little knives outside, so we had to order those. They play in the, let me mute everybody. Everybody mute yourself if you would. There, we muted door on there. All right, so this stuff here, y'all, this is worth its weight in gold. Look at this. I've been taking these at night. Oh, and I'm almost out of them. So Natural Vitality Calm, a magnesium supplement. And I was reading, I have this restless leg syndrome, and the restless legs, it's kind of hard to sleep. But since I've been taking these, no restless legs, and I sleep like a baby. So you take 4, and this is the best tasting gummy you'll ever have. Now, I've been trying to take my apple cider vinegar gummies. Oh, those things are horrible, even when I mix it with my good gummies. But these, y'all, you need to be buying these. And I don't get paid to say this. Natural Vitality Calm, a magnesium supplement. And I sleep like a baby with that. I would think last night I slept pretty good. I woke up at about 12:30, didn't wake up again until Beth rolled us over at 6 o'clock this morning. But you take 4 of these, the raspberry lemon flavor, and you can also get an orange flavor. I've not tried the orange, but these are great tasting. Oh, they're so good. So see if that makes a difference for you. One of the things I'm going to share with my Alabama class today, and I thought I'd share this with you guys as well. Now, this is attributed to Warren Buffett. Do I know that Warren Buffett said this? No, I don't know if he said it or not, but it's a great quote, regardless who said it. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, and if you're not sleeping, give those little gummies a try. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you'll work until you die. Isn't that good? Boy, we're talking about dying and all kinds of stuff. So this is the key. This is the key, right? You got to find a way to make your money while you're sleeping, or you'll work till the day you die. So we've always talked about we got to have our money working for us when we're sleeping. So that's a good thing. So let's go in and let's show you. I told you that we upped this by 1K. I popped a K in here. So everything's fine. Some of y'all have got some margin calls. You're a little nervous. I get that. And just don't be nervous about it. Just look what your buying power is on the day. Make sure everything's fine. If you have to, we can take some 1-1-1 trades off. So there's things that we can do. So just don't fret. And if anyone's got a question about that, or you need to do a one-on-one with me, then just let me know. We'll hang out after class or something to take care of you. Make sure that everybody's okay. I did add something yesterday. I'm always adding and tweaking, and I'm going to give this to you, I promise, to where I give you the version that's not hooked up to Thinkorswim, but I got to get it working right. And I still got some bugs in it. It's not quite working right, but I did add a stock cost basis over here. So I kind of like to know what is my basis in these stocks. So right now it says TQQ is 6403. So we're at 6749. My basis here is 2605. That's why that's down a bit. And here's what I kind of like though. Let's make sure my little thing is running. Is my thing running? Is it updating? It's supposed to update like every 10 seconds or so. Let's make sure. Visual macro. It's supposed to do it every 10 seconds. Let's hit the play button. 67.27. So yesterday I had a signal that I should buy 28 shares. God, I wish I had, but remember, I only run, see that bug? I only run this once a day. So I'd already done my purchases after we got finished yesterday. So yesterday I did buy some shares. Yesterday, the algo had me to buy 3 shares of TQQQ. So today it's telling me, oh Bobby, to buy 5 shares. So won't we do that real quick? Buy 5 shares, 67.27. So let's trade TQQ 67. What was it? 67.27. 67.27. Let's see if we can get to 67.27. Oh, we put it to 67.30. And we'll buy us 5 shares. It's an update, Bobby. Exactly. But it went down so much at the end of the day that there we go. 67.23 we got in. Let's double check that. Monitor tab, field order. 67.2299. Okay. 67.2299. 67.2299. So we put in TQQQ. Let's see. Then let's make sure this changes our little thing here. So let's take a snapshot of that. Let's see what our basis is. Our basis is 6403 in TQQQ, and we just bought some at 67.299. Make sure it changes our basis, right? So we bought 5 shares today at TQQ. Bobby, did you see the president peaking for 2 hours yesterday? Y'all, I watched some of that. And I don't care if you are a Democrat or Republican or a socialist or a communist, that was frightening. Oh my gosh. Y'all, this man is running our country. Woo, have mercy. Y'all thought Trump was unhinged. This dude is really, really messed up. So we bought 5, right? No, everything's fine. Yep. I can't even remember if it was 5 now. Yeah, we bought 5. So go back over here and let's see what if I changed our cost basis. So our cost basis was, and change it to penny. So yeah. So we bought it at a higher price. So our cost basis went from 6403 to 6407. Isn't that cool that we can keep up with our overall cost basis just based on that? So I'll give you this version. Let me clean this up a little bit where we can get that error to quit going on my macro there. I love this. So buy 2 shares. Let's see what the other one say. Now the other one is still hooked up to, Thinkorswim. It may take a second for that to open. So while it's doing that, let's look at the markets. So NASDAQ is up 1.57%. The E-minis are up 1.23%. And we're above everything, y'all. So if we look, we're above the opening 15-minute range. We're above VWAP, value weighted average price. We're above the overnight high. We're above a pivot point. We're above the hourly mid band. We're above the cash open. We're above, the opening 15 minutes. Where's the overnight low? That's the overnight low, I guess, was 45.14, and nothing below. So everything's below us, right? So that's offering a lot of support. So nothing above to keep us from going up. So kind of cool. That's the E-minis. Look over here at our NASDAQ. And it's doing what it's doing. AD is at 365. So the advancers over the decliners are really up for the day. And we're entering our little lunchtime chop time. So let's look at our volume profile, market profile. Volume profile, market profile. So let's go to the futures. I mean, we could run a chart on TQQQ, but I don't think we need to. I think it's better to look at the futures, but you could always do a chart on TQQQ. So let's look at the E-minis, the S&P 500. Okay, so now you see a little bit of resistance there, right? And resistance there. And we go down to the 50% line and we pop back up to this area here. So we're at the value area low on volume profile. It wouldn't surprise us to see volume trade here for some time, and the new point of control Here's where the most volume is traded, this red line over the last 10 days. Wouldn't surprise us at all to see that value move down here as we get comfortable in this area. So that price is fairly priced, maybe a slight neutral to bullish feel here unless this eventually becomes the point of control, which it looks like it will. So if we get around this price and it keeps on going out here, it will overtake and be the new point of control. So that's what we're looking at. All right, let's look at the NASDAQ. See how NASDAQ, and you can draw this on anything that you want to do. So NASDAQ is overbought. So in an overbought situation, we're more bearish on this one than we would be on the E-minis. Overbought, we would expect a drop, but we're at the new point of control. Old point of control looks like it was here. It's already developed a new point of control where the most volume is traded. So it's going to be real comfortable here. So we can see it trading within this little range here. And since it's overbought, we could definitely see a pullback, especially to that 15,000 mark. Wow, how about that? The big line is right on the 15,000 mark. Wouldn't surprise us at all to see some move toward the 15,000 mark. It's already made one attempt, and we'll probably see another attempt in the coming days. So that means more pain for those of you that are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe Bobby's got me in the TQQQs. Okay, I got you. So we know what our market looks like. So let's go back and see what our other accounts want us to do now. I said, let's go back and see what our other accounts want us to do. If I had my little pointer. What does this account want us to do? What does this Empire want us to do? Don't update. It says to buy 2 shares of the TQQQ. All right, let's buy 2 shares over there. Unbelievable. What's this password? Somebody's eating breakfast. I hear y'all. Let me mute everybody again. Everybody make sure you're muted unless you're speaking. I'm seeing some of y'all and I'm muting you. Just check and double check. All right, so we'll go over here. We're going to buy 2 shares of TQQ. Why? Well, because the spreadsheet tells me to. Do I blindly follow the spreadsheet? Yep, I do. 2 shares here. 2 and 67.32. 67.32. Going once, going twice. Replace order. 4. No. I said we ought to get filled there. Unbelievable. Well, this price is just going up, y'all. Come on, Bob. There we go. So we got filled at 67.35, it looks like. 67.35, and we did 2 shares. So let's put that into our little Beetlejuice thing here. Oh, now it says 3 shares. Don't worry about it. Just do the 2. 67.35. 2 shares. And 120. Can y'all believe this? 20th day of the month. Unbelievable. Hoorah. All right. So got that in. We come back and they'll probably tell us to still buy 1, but don't worry about it. Just leave it. You've done your stuff for the day. Forget it. All right. So my auto save is on. So I'm going to close this one. And then we need to open our SKU driver, which I should have already had open, but I am behind. File. I said, let's see, file. I mean, it's got to close that one first. Well, while we're going, let's, okay, maybe it's closed. All right, here we go. Come on. Come on, little feller. Well, let's go back here and we'll just open our SKU driver later. I'm sure our SKU driver is still up, but it should be going down, right, with the market up. And, you know, we expected this. Well, you expect this. So let's go to our monitor tab. And we still got a working order to finish our our Sweet Bobby hedge. And I'm so glad that YouTube sided with me. I mean, and put my video back up. Unbelievable. You just cannot copyright a trade unless you provide all your materials out there. I don't see that happening. So still got a ways to go before this gets filled. It's 265. We're going to fill that at 175. But let's look at our Greeks for the day. So we're up $1,283 on the day, still down on the year. Right? But considering the correction we've had in NASDAQ, I mean, look at that. We're down 5,400 there on just the TQQQs. We're up good on that today, up $1,400. But, nonetheless, it's hurt. And, a friend of mine sent me a message today. He said, what do you make of Biden's speech when it comes to the markets? I said, well, here's what Biden's speech basically said. Biden's speech basically said this. And I was shocked. It basically said, Putin, whatever you can call him, Putin, which, by the way, I would change my name. God is my witness. If my last name was Putin and he realized kind of what that kind of means in American terms, I'd change my name. But Putin now has a green light to invade the Ukraine, as long as they don't do too much damage. You kind of go over there, clean it up, mess with them a little bit, kill a few thousand people, bomb this and that. Don't make it, don't escalate it to the point of a world war or anything, and we'll be okay. That's basically what Biden told him yesterday. So I would expect within probably by the end of this month, definitely before Valentine's Day, Putin is going to go into the Ukraine, and we're not going to do a thing about it. So, and basically after China sees that, then China's going to go, okay, so US, they don't really care about this stuff. And they'll go, okay, we've got Popov in at the, as the commander in chief. So while Russia's doing that to Ukraine, we're going to spank Taiwan. So that's what's going to happen. And my friend said, what's that going to do to the markets? And I said, well, it's going to kill the markets. It's, the markets are going to suffer accordingly when you have that kind of strife in the world. But what I told him is this: news is noise. News is noise, and we'll just follow the plan, and that's all we can do. And we'll acquire more shares, and then eventually the markets go back up. So, if you're scared about that happening, then what would I do? And if you've got your income asset as TQQ, Q, or UPRO, then what I would probably do is I would say for the next little bit, while we're holding, we probably do need to stay in our covered calls, selling calls against those positions. And rather than doing what we did last time, what we're probably going to do is we're going to sell calls against the position and buy some longer dated puts in TQQQ. So that's going to be fun, actually. I'm kind of looking forward to that. So while we try to ignore the news for the long duration, in short term, it certainly can have an effect on us. And we want to hold our TQQQ. So we'll probably continue to sell calls, generate premium, generate income by the selling of those calls. And then we will use those calls to purchase puts, but we'll purchase the puts a little farther out than the calls that we sell. We'll see how it works, right? We'll experiment a little bit. So that should be very, 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 very fun. MRP. Hey, Bobby, how did you plot the chart on the AIM dashboard worksheet? Did you select column C and column R? Okay, let's go back and let's see. Are you talking about this chart here? That shows how much I have in cash, how much I have in TMF, and how much I have in TQQ. Yeah. How did I plot that? It should be on yours. You don't have this? Let's see. How did I do that? That's a good question. Select data. So it looks like TQQ, TMF, current cash. Let's see. How did I do that? TQQQ, this should be the stock value, right? Stock value here, stock value here. Yeah, 9420 is that, 931,347 there, and current cash is I guess this will be. So E and G. Yours got corrupted. Okay, I'll send you a new one. I'll send you a new one. We'll get you a new one. So you got all this. So you ain't got to worry about it. And hopefully you don't have too much data to, copy and paste. All you really got to do is just kind of copy your trades and put it back in. And so you should be fine. Just kind of keep the thing going. All right. And I keep adding to it, y'all, but y'all know me. I'm always tweaking. I said, I kind of like to know what my stop basis is. What's my basis? And where am I at now? Where's the current price at? What's the basis? All right. All right. So here's what's so good. Excuse me. Let me drink my Dr. Pepper. Sorry, this is Diet Coke, and it actually is Coke. Why am I buying Coke when we're in UPRO? I mean, TQs. All right, here we go. Because Pepsi doesn't taste good. So what's this? Even with the market up substantially, look at this, y'all. You would say, man, you must be getting killed on your calls, Bob. Look, I'm down $4 on the day with this huge run up in the TQs. Isn't that cool? Why? And let me tell you another reason that I sold the calls, because y'all probably need to know this. We looked at the charts. We looked at the skew driver. We looked at Trading View. There was no indication that I should sell calls. I just had a hunch. And I tell you that we try to make this as mechanical, methodical, and emotionless as possible. But sometimes you just got a gut. And I just had a gut that we were going to have a pretty good size drop. And fortunately, I did that because it's giving me $1,026. The other reason that I sold the calls last Friday was because I knew that there was a Martin Luther King Jr. holiday on Monday. So what did that mean? That meant an entire day so we had Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, 3 straight days that the TQs would not trade. So, this gives us theta, right? So theta, when you sell options, gives us positive theta. And I knew that I would get a whole extra day of theta decay by selling that options without any market move whatsoever. Now, we know that theta decay is not linear. We know that theta over the weekend doesn't come out over the weekend. We know that theta over weekends comes out sometimes on Thursdays and Friday. I'm not trying to time the market, but in the back of my mind, whether I was right or wrong, I go, I got a holiday on Monday, got an extra day decay, and I don't have to worry about market movement. So, I sold I just had a little bit of, just a little bit of an assumption, and we know how assumptions get us in trouble, that it'd be a good time to sell calls. So what I'll probably do is tomorrow we will effectively roll the calls out to next week. So what is a roll? A roll is closing this, accepting our 95% profit or whatever we got, and rolling it out and selling another call a week out in advance. Then what I think I'll do is use some of that premium. So we got, what was it, $1,100, $1,200 worth of premium. I forget what it was that we collected. So we collected $1,200, and then we used 50% of that to buy additional shares of TQQQ, which was kind of a bullish play, right? It was like, hey, let's collect income, but then let's add to because now we've got 466 shares. See, I'm only 34 shares away from being able to sell 5 covered calls. So I sold 4 this week. Well, when I get 34 more shares, I can sell 5 and be fully covered. Isn't that cool? So, what we'll probably do is use some of that income that we'll collect tomorrow to buy some puts. Well, Bobby, isn't that counterintuitive? You're selling calls and buying puts. Both of those are little bearish scenarios, aren't they? I mean, the covered call, if you thought that the market was just going to go straight up, you would never sell a call because you would not get the upward power, say that upward delta of your shares, which are 210. So by selling those calls, that gave me a lot of negative delta. So my overall deltas are what, 144 now. Is that right? Yeah, my overall deltas are 144, which don't even approach what the positive deltas are here. So, you know, kind of is what it is. Anyone got a question about that? I think it's a cool little strategy. So you're buying puts. What is buying puts? Well, buying puts, that's a bearish move, right? So when you buy puts, a long put makes money if the market goes down. So it's kind of, you know, doing a collar, so to speak, a protective collar in TQQQ, which kind of freezes it. But what we're going to do is we're going to use the premiums from the calls to buy longer dated puts. So our puts are going to be longer dated. So, you know, we may buy puts that are 30 days to expiration. Oh, sorry. We may make those be 30 days to expiration, while our calls, short calls, may be 7 days to expiration. So, you know, there's all kinds of things that we could do. And then you go, well, if we do that, then the next week we could sell another 7 calls against those 30 DTE, which would then be 23 DTE puts. So there's all kinds of different cool things that we can do. All right, so we bought our stuff. We've done our stuff. Now, I got to make a decision here. And what's the decision, oh, Bob, oh, Bob, oh, Bob? Well, the decision is, do I want to do my 1-1-1 trade? Bobby, why would you not do your 1-1-1 trade? Well, you know, I've been kind of getting a couple margin calls here and there. You know, they've been saying, hey, margin. And that takes $400 or $500 worth of buying power. And the market's up today. The most opportune time to do that is on the down move. So let's see first of all, let's look at this. I was trying to look at this yesterday to see what my risk graph looks like. Oh, let's see, analysis, video, expiration. All right, on TQQ, but let's look at our macros for a second. And here we are. So we've got our elephant trunk or our whale, whatever you want to call it. And we've got this nice little profit tent looking just fine, y'all. Looking just fine. And, you know, one of the things is the macros, though, are what takes up so much of our buying power. And I've got that already built up to a $9,000 profit hump if the macros continue to go down. So, you know, I want to add to it because I want to make sure that I have the buying power. For example, yesterday, after yesterday's move, this thing said buy 28 shares. And I thought, man, I'd love to buy 28 shares, but I'll probably need to liquidate something. So let's look at a 1-1-1. It's such a good trade. I'm just, you know, I got to make sure I got stuff I can take off. So let's look at what we potentially have that we could take off. All right. So I think we've already stripped these down. We've got all these coming. All these options will expire tomorrow. So you see we've got short options in there. So that's undoubtedly going to free up some of our buying power. I mean, we've got these here. Everything's expiring. Really nothing to do. So that'll take and give us some more buying power tomorrow. So maybe I could do one today. Oh, we've already stripped these, I think. Let's see if we got any down here we could strip away if we had to. There's 10 long options, nothing to do but let those expire. Yeah, here's one that we sold for, make sure it is, yep. Here's one that we sold for $20 that we could close for $1.95. That would give me some more buying power. So if I had to, on 11 days, I could strip that one down. Let's see what else we got out here. 29 days is our next longest dated option. Let's see what we could strip here for 50% profit. Why do you want 50% profit on it? Because that means my put debit spread is put on for free. So what I sell for 20, if I have to buy back for $5, I've made well over, what is that, 75% profit, almost 75%. So why not, you know, I could close that if I had to. Here's another one I could close for 50% profit. So yeah, I've got some stuff. There's one that's not quite 50% profit. So I've got two or three that I could close right now. for 50% profit that would give me back buying power. And I just want to keep a little bit of buying power so that if I have to buy some options, that I can buy options. Oh, and I wanted to correct one mistake. Tech earnings next week, lots of volatility. Exactly. Lots of volatility. So the issue is, I mean, I expect tech earnings to be really, really good. I don't see a reason that they're not good. Beth is still buying from Amazon. Beth is still buying from eBay, 2 companies in the queues. Beth's still buying from Ross. Beth's still buying, she's on Facebook all the time. She's playing Candy Crush, which is probably related to something in tech. So, you know, I don't think that the tech earnings are going to be bad. But again, we don't get into price prediction. We don't get into, we kind of go with the data and the science. That's what we want to do. But again, when you got Popeye basically telling the world yesterday, okay, the invasion is going to happen. You know, the market's going to take a little bit of hit when that comes in. I'm actually surprised that the market's up today after hearing our president speak yesterday. Y'all, whoever let that man on stage needs to be fired immediately. Somebody needs to go get Popeye and get him off that stage, because he's making us, unfortunately, look very, very weak in front of the world. So I think some of these foreign countries and foreign dictators are going to take that as a sign that, well, you know, we'll do what we want to, because Popeye, you know, he's really not competent. The only thing he's worried about is Build Back Better and making sure that we end the filibuster in the Senate, which are things that Americans are not concerned about. Americans are, here's what we want. We want cheaper gas. We want to be able to go to the Piggly Wiggly and find everything that we need. Beth, are you in here? Beth. So Beth did the Kroger pickup or the Walmart pickup the other day. And she said Walmart had 20 items that was on our grocery list that were not in stock. 20 items not in stock. And we're not talking about, I mean, y'all know what we do. We buy the Walmart brand, except for mayonnaise, because we have to have Blue Plate. And if y'all don't have Blue Plate mayonnaise where you're at and you're eating some horrible mayonnaise like Hellman's or some other horrible mayonnaise, and you don't know what Blue Plate is, you need to order Blue Plate if you can find it. So I told Beth we got to quit buying Hunt's ketchup. We got to buy Heinz, because Heinz is in the NASDAQ. So, you know, 20 items are not in stock. So here's what I want in America today. I want my gas to be cheaper, and I want all my products to be at the Walmart or the Kroger. That's what I want. That's what I'm concerned about. So if we can't get the Dr. Pepper, I've been to the Piggly Wiggly and can't find Dr. Pepper. Beth said, "Give me Dr. Pepper." And I said, "I will, hon." And then you bring her home Mr. Pill, and that woman is pissed off. I mean, that woman loves her Dr. Pepper. She is not wanting Mr. Pill. So we got.
What about Dr. Thunder?
Oh, she's not going to eat. Not Beth. That's a classy woman, Matt. Hey, Matt, don't you come in here and insult Beth now, because she loves you. She's always asking, "I ain't heard you say nothing about Matt lately." Don't think she's a Dr. Thunder person. No, because here's what I tell her. Every time we have one of our kids' birthday parties, I tell her I'm going to get the Piggly Wiggly brand of drinks. She said, "No, you're not. People are going to think we poor." And I'm like, "Beth, who cares what they think?" I said, "I'm going to get the cheaper drink." "No, you're not. You're going to get the name brand." So Beth, she's a little bit, look, she's highbrow, y'all. She's not like me. I'll drink a Dr. Thunder. I'm with you, Matt. Me and you sit around drinking all day, not Beth. She wants the real thing. She's not going for that cheap Piggly Wiggly brand. I mean, I married a woman with sophisticated taste. So we all got to be careful here. So hopefully what happened after yesterday is we all realize, hey, we in this for the long term, baby. You know, we're not here as short-termers and thinking about what Putin's going to do and all that. But at the same time, it's in the back of my mind. And I think it's kind of smart that if you have 466 shares of stock and you sell 4 covered calls on it, you've still got 66 that are uncovered shares. So if they go up, if TQQs go up and I'm wrong, I'm still making money. And I'm probably going to bring in $1,200 tomorrow by selling those calls. And if I'm kind of concerned that the market goes down, I can use a little bit of that money. I don't even have to use it all. I can keep my $1,400 and maybe buy $600, $700, $800 worth of longer dated puts. So I don't know what we're going to do tomorrow. I may totally change my mind. We'll see. You know, or when Putin goes in, you know, if he starts crashing over the border of the Ukraine tomorrow, you know, who knows what we'll do. So I think though what we've got to do is be a little more long-termish in our outlook. And I mean, can you imagine the disaster of September 11th? Can you imagine what all of us would have been thinking doing this during then? We'd have been like, oh no, it's over. But it wasn't over. And we always come back and we always prevail. We're in the United States, y'all. I mean, we rebuild. We're like a pea ant hill. You know, I got them all out in my yard. You got the fire ants everywhere, and I will put that stuff on them and kill them. And what do? They move their little thing 5 feet away. And then you put some more poison on that and you go, man, I killed that man. And then what do? They build, you know, 5 feet away. You blow our buildings up, what do? We rebuild something. You ain't gonna keep us down. I don't care who the president is. I don't care who is the House of Representatives, whatever. We're America, dang it. And we are resilient folks. We're stubborn as a mule, and we always come back. So even if Putin does the unthinkable to Ukraine and, you know, whatever, I think we're going to be fine, at least during our lifetimes. Now, we know that this great empire that is the United States of America, at some point will be replaced by someone, but that ain't happening during our lifetime. Now, some of you think that China can do it. They can't. They just can't. Not during our lifetime. All of us here will be dead and gone before the United States is not a force to be reckoned with. Now, that doesn't mean somebody can't slap some nukes over here, but I can promise you, by gosh, one thing, we're going to be slapping some back too. And yeah, you know, there'll be tons of casualties if World War III were to come and blah, 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 but I can't live my life scared of that. I'm just not going to. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm not going to hedge, and it doesn't mean that, you know, I'm not going to do whatever. Yeah, today would be a good day to roll the covered calls since the market is up, right? Because you would be rolling into strength, right? Rolling into strength. So yeah, that's definitely something we could consider doing. Now, the thing is, what's the market going to do tomorrow? We don't know if the market's going to be up, you know, or down tomorrow. So you're right. Bird in the hand, worth two in the bush. Could I do it today? Absolutely. Let's just look at it. Why don't we look at it? Let's see what we could do. So let's go back over here. Let's see how everybody's doing. Y'all doing okay? All right, so Linda says, wouldn't today be a good day to roll? Yeah, it would. Let's see. So let's go to TQQQ. Let's see if we roll these puppies, create rolling orders. That means we'd sell a calendar. Calendar, what the devil, Bob? What does that mean? Well, that means we're basically buying back our 71 strikes, and we see it's at 67, right? And going out for another week, right, at that 71 strike. So last time we sold them at the money, but if we did this, then you and I would bring in $555 with zero buying power effect. Isn't that cool? Now, depending, what could you do? Also, this is trading at 67. If you are of the belief that the market's going to be significantly lower than that next week, what could you do? Well, you could lower that strike, right? So you could do a 70 and bring in $1.83, or you could go, hey, I'm going to bring in a 68, bring in 283, or heck, you could almost bring one that's 67 right at the money, right? And bring in $300. $141 times 4 is 1,200. Oh my gosh. Oh, behave. $1,300. So if you're pretty sure that, you know, we got all this uncertainty in the world, we could bring in $1,300 today. So yeah, we could do that today. I'm probably still going to wait because I'm a little stubborn, but and I kind of like doing them on Fridays, but doesn't mean, and I'll probably be wrong, right? We probably wouldn't get the same credit tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see. Then what would I do? So if I brought in $1,300, what would I then do? Well, then I could go out and I could trade TQQQ. And if I'm going out 7 days on my calls, what if we went out about 30 days on my puts? Let's see if we got good strikes here. Oh yeah, we got everything. So we got $1,300. What could you do? Well, let's see. What if you thought that there's a possibility that this 67 would go down to maybe 60? Now, what could you do? You could go down here, right, and buy these out for a month, buy 4 of those, and that will cost you about $1,200. Look at there, right? Zero buying power, buying your puts. So you're bringing in income there, and you're using that income to protect you should the price of the TQs go below, you know, the 60 strike. Now, then the cool thing is this. So then you get 4 weeks of protection. You get 30 weeks of protection while you're getting income off of that 7-day call. So then what do? Well, then next week, when it's next Friday, we do another 7-day option and we sell and get another 1,300. But then we could be like, well, there's no need to use that 1,300 to buy puts because we've already got 30-day puts out there protecting us, you know, if the price goes under 60. Isn't that cool? So then you could just eat that income, just take it in as, you know, hey, that's great rental income. That's good. And then you could do it another week. And then you could do it another week. So you could do this, you could do the selling of calls 4 straight weeks in a row and still have your protective puts out there that are 30 days out. God, aren't options fun? Is that not fun? Now, is that perfect? No. Or, you know, split the baby. You could use some of your premiums to do other stuff. What if you don't want to be that bearish on it? Well, use some of your premiums to buy 1 more share of TQQQ. Yeah, I could buy 1 share tomorrow, especially if it's down. Buy another share or 2 of TQQQ, then buy you some puts. God, I mean, it's just so fun. This is what I love. Now, this is strategy. I mean, this is strategy. And, you know, we come into this market and think about it. Most people in the world know only one thing. And the one thing that they know is buying stock. That's all they know. They don't know, hey, you could do a covered call, and then you could do a kind of a diagonalized, what was it? A calendarized collar, which is what we'd be doing. It's calendarized, calendar by time, diagonal by strike. So we'd say a calendarized collar. All kinds of stuff we could do. The cool thing is, I just never want you to be scared. You can't trade scared. You just sit there and go, you know what? If TQQQ goes to 20 tomorrow, what am I going to do? I'll tell you what you're going to do. What's this? If it goes down to 20 tomorrow, what are you going to do? You're going to buy 1,219 shares. Well, Bobby, that cost me 20 times 1,200. That's a lot of money. Okay, well, maybe you can't buy that, but you're going to buy what is that money? I can't do math in my head. 20 times 12, 24,000. 20 times 1219, 24,000. Bobby, I don't have 24,000. I got it. But the chances of that going to 20 tomorrow is not good. I mean, you would buy what you could, right? At that point, if it went to 20 tomorrow, I'd pretty much sell all my TMF that I had. I would raise me $9,420 because I would sell that garbage. I'm not calling it garbage, mind you. But in the event of that crash, this would probably go up. So I'd use part of that to buy part of that. Y'all see what I'm saying? Just want to make sure we're all clear. So when we get together every day, you know, I just want you
Bobby, did you mute yourself?